If you're a wrestling fan of any kind, this is the podcast for you. My co-host Miggy and I talk about the independent scene. We talk about the main event of every PLE and pay-per-view and Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and AEW, and we talk about it all. We interview some of the rising stars of the SoCal wrestling scene. We are the official podcast of Dream Slam Wrestling, and we hope that you hit that subscribe button. And if you like what we're talking about, give us a thumbs up. Videos 3 times a week. Stay with it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to House's Fake Podcast. Me, TJ, joined by Miggy, and you gotta, okay, so we're gonna talk about NXT Homecoming, and I know you're excited to talk about that because you love NXT.
Dude, I've had a long day, but I am excited to talk about NXT. I worked all day.
There's some grievances that you
I had
need to air.
I had an event. I had a HOA thing that I was at, and I've been the HOA president for a while. But your boy is trying. Your boy is trying to move to California so he doesn't miss out on all these Dream Slam and Ignite events that his buddy is commentating and ring announcing for. And so hopefully in the next 2 years, your boy makes it to California to live there. But that means no longer being the HOA president and no longer dealing with HOA responsibilities. Buying a home is a lot, dude. And then even just being a homeowner is a lot because then you gotta plant trees and you gotta remove the tree. I'm just dealing with an argument with my tree more so than anything else.
Where's the tree?
Well, half of the tree fell over. But the problem is the root is so deep, and I'm so cheap that I'm not going to buy like one of those stump removers. So I'm turning the tree. So we chopped the tree in half to take out the top part, so it's not hanging over. But now I just have like a sideways stump that's like broken wood hanging out of my front yard. So I'm turning it into a Halloween decoration. So I bought a bunch of instead of paying somebody to remove the stump, I bought a bunch of skeletons, and for Halloween, I'm going to just lay the tree on top of the skeletons and make it look like the tree fell over on some people.
That's creative.
I hate plants.
See, that's where me, who doesn't own a home, would be excited to own a home because I feel like, when I was a kid and I would have to do yard work with my dad on Saturdays, that was like hell. But now...
Yeah.
No,
owning a tree is a lot. But also, you know what else is a lot? I know we're going to talk NXT. There's a big weekend coming up in professional wrestling. I have some ideas on that too that I have to run by you, but we don't have to do that on the air unless you want to.
No, we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
I got to plug. You alluded to it, but what is Iconoclast?
This is Edge's return shirt from WWE, and an Iconoclast is somebody who challenges ideas. And I have Adam Copeland on the brain, killer segment taking place on Dynamite. And buddy, I'm just excited to talk about after the fact what happened on this show. But we could reconvene.
We'll do it.
All right.
Oh God!
Let's talk NXT.
Oh, I just inhaled some. Well, before we talk about NXT, you alluded to it earlier.
What's it called? Feeling the effects of the Malort in his throat. Still tasting it.
No, I don't.
You don't know what we're talking about. Go watch the last episode with those 5 other viewers.
I know. I take a week and a half off to go house sit and go to a birthday party in Arizona, and the podcast just, except for you on TikTok who's holding down. So yeah, follow us on TikTok.
Yes. And Instagram.
And then subscribe here.
Yeah.
But I am ring announcing and commentating, which I didn't get to say this in the last episode. I want to say it now. Dude, it's live commentary. The people sitting there watching are going to be listening to me. That
You
is
got
crazy.
this.
No, I know.
Yeah. So
It's happening again. What the fuck
but
is happening?
you can hear the commentary when DreamSlam posts the videos and stuff too, though.
Well, sometimes it gets a little quiet.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
But
I think
yeah,
Ignite's probably that way. But
Dream
yeah, so I'm doing that. Then October 3rd, I'm going to back to Ignite for some more.
on Mean Girls Day, dude, you got to wear pink.
I thought about wearing pink because the Stone King EP, that piece of
Ooh,
shit.
throwback to
That
some TJ lore.
yeah, well,
Everybody, if
that's
you've
the
never
only
heard
time I'm going to
the
reference
music
that.
of Stone King, you're missing out.
No, you're not. No, that music is like a tree stump that is sideways on the that's what that music is like. But the gimmick was pink and black. So the CD that we printed, I don't know if you ever saw one, but the CD, it was blank, but it was just hot pink.
So
So I was thinking, if I were to add some color, I could do pink. That'd be, like a little lore, like you said. But then I thought about Pinky Santino, and that's literally his fucking name. And he's the Dream Slam ring announcer. So, oh,
so speaking of Stone King, former how is this fake trivia champion of the world's entity of the United States and everywhere else. Um, Adam, wasn't he part of Stone King?
no, he just did a gig with us one time.
Oh, okay. Because I like the idea of not only Adam coming back on this podcast so the captain can kick his ass once more, but also I Am Snail versus a reignited Stone King
God,
Battle of the Bands.
we would lose.
That's some good music, dude. Both sides.
All right, let's talk about NXT.
Dude, NXT was cool. Um, and there was a lot of chatter about NXT online because the TNA people, and I don't know if it's storyline or if it's because a lot of it was the TNA people that were used to be in NXT too, and then Matt Cardona. Um, we're talking a lot of trash about the show and not being invited, and the fact that next week you're getting Trick Williams and Oba Femi for a winner take all title, which Trick Williams wins, unless we get a TNA Invasion, but I don't really want a TNA Invasion against the current version of NXT, so that's what I have a lot to say on. But what do you want to talk about NXT first, buddy?
Well, I was just to dive a little deeper into how TNA is benefiting or not benefiting and how people
It's
feel
not.
about it. I listened to Busted Open a little bit today,
Okay.
which I don't do a whole lot of anymore because I do our show. But anyways, Tommy was saying how he got a text from his boss, the guy who runs TNA,
Mm-hmm.
after Grayson Waller announced that title for title match. And he texted Tommy and he said, "Did you know about this?" And Dreamer said no. So what I want to know is, did Grayson Waller say that all by himself? Is he just booking a match all by himself? Did he go off script? Or is WWE just, being the evil empire again
I honestly think, buddy,
and
this at
booking
least
TNA for them?
this is what I'm hoping. Well, one, I think it could be that because WWE, I'm sure, sees that TNA is on one of TNA's title is on one of their guys, so why not? But two, um, the owner of TNA has been on WWE a lot as of late. So has Shawn Michaels. I love the idea of the two figureheads arguing with each other, but on that note, I do also know that Tommy Dreamer plays the number one part in TNA's creative.
Think it's work.
And
You think Dreamer's working me?
I would just love the fact that, Tommy Dreamer is arguably the most prominent coach, creator, all that stuff that still wrestles regularly in TNA. There's one guy that I would like to see Tommy. If they do go to war, I want to start there. If they do go to war, Tommy Dreamer versus Matt Bloom. That's the match I want.
Okay.
The
Little
not
A-Train
Shawn
action.
Michaels isn't getting in the ring anytime soon unless the Saudi Arabian prince is throwing $1 million at him. And Matt Bloom, I mean, I guarantee you that guy still got it. That dude is still jacked like no other. I would like to see that, and I honestly, if they do a WWE NXT versus TNA, I want to see TNA win.
Oh
They're the
yeah.
underdog,
No, it's
but the
well, and
matches that we would get would piss me off
oh really? Why
because
so?
I don't want to see this iteration of TNA. Last night we got Homecoming. Now you had DIY back. I want to see the Heart and Soul, come back to defend their home and and to show the new NXT. Listen, this was our home first. We have you. We're at least somehow be involved in a TNA versus NXT show, and I've already in my head um fantasy booked it. If you want to hear some of my ideas.
I think you're telling me that you want to tell me some of your ideas.
No, I want to know whatever you want to talk about, but I do have some good ideas. One of which being a woman who was in the first ever NXT Women's Championship match. Even better, one of the first ever NXT Women's Champions in Charlotte Flair. And I don't even know if that's true. I just know she was an NXT Women's Champion at one point versus Tessa Blanchard.
Ooh.
That's the match I want. That match writes itself.
You get their
Um,
dads ringside.
yeah, I want to see the Hardys, who have had a much better career in TNA than they ever did in WWE. In DIY, that's a dream match for me. Um, Leon Slater and Javon Evans would make a killer match. And something was said last night that kind of pissed me off too. Bobby Roode, who I love Bobby Roode. Okay, I mean Lexi and I walked out to Glorious Domination at our wedding. That's how much I like that guy and like that song.
Wow.
And Bobby Roode I've talked about this on here before. Bobby Roode and James Storm at Bound for Glory 2010 put on one of the best matches I've ever seen in my entire life live. But Bobby Roode said to Joe Hendry, not so friend of the podcast, that guy.
Yeah, we left his ass in the dust with everyone else.
Yeah, said to him, he's like, listen, man, I was a TNA champion, and then I came over to NXT, and that was life changing for me. Now that you're in NXT, you could do a lot. Joe Hendry's not a WWE guy. He's not on the WWE roster. He's just the biggest name that TNA has in this exchange. So to say that is kind of a slap in the face of TNA in itself.
They're not getting a good I mean, I guess they're getting exposure. They're about to have their biggest live crowd ever.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't suck for TNA, but if you're looking at it from a strictly WWE versus TNA angle,
Yeah.
then, But I feel like there's probably not a whole lot of Impact only wrestling fans. Like
No.
if you're watching Impact, you are watching NXT. You are
Yeah.
watching AEW.
AEW. You're watching everything.
So I mean,
You don't have the TNA diehards like you do WWE and NXT. You just don't.
yeah, so maybe this is a case of is all exposure good exposure? But
Mike
if you
Santana versus Finn Balor would be good.
So you said something interesting. You would want the black and gold to come back and
Yeah.
defend. I
Well, whatever black and gold they have left, what a disgrace that was to not even mention. You have pictures of the Velveteen Dream and you have pictures of Lars Sullivan, but to not even mention the Undisputed Era, that's so petty.
well, I was gonna ask you because when they were doing the segment, Regal came out and said War Games. I
Stupid.
was like, let's do it. And then Charlotte and Lex came out, and I was like, oh shit, okay, that was just a little.
But
But then
that
I
would be
thought, what
cool.
if? But what if
Triple
they
H's
did do
NXT
it?
versus Shawn Michaels NXT.
What if you had Rainbow NXT versus NXT Black and Gold, or not Rainbow NXT, but you know, post Triple H NXT? You have Braun
Um,
Breaker,
no, I wouldn't even. If you were to do that, I would do.
or you just do Sean's era, not when
You would
Vince
just
and
do
Bruce
Shawn.
were
I
in
mean,
charge of.
yeah, you have. If that's the case, you do. You obviously you do DIY. You do DIY Finn Balor. What is it? 5-on-5. DIY Finn Balor. Who do they have left? Sami Zayn and
This is for Black and Gold.
Black and Gold. Hold on.
Throw
I have to see
Shinsuke
who
in
they
there.
have left. No, Shinsuke. As much as I would like that, there's no way Shinsuke gets
I mean,
that.
Tanahashi just
Oh,
did that.
Aleister Black.
Okay,
And then
you
you
wouldn't
put
put
him up
Seth. You
against.
wouldn't put Seth in there.
No. Too big.
You're,
There's no
you're
reason. There's
probably
no reason.
right.
The problem is that there's no reason for Seth to care.
True.
You
It
have
would
those
be
guys that
it
are
would
too
be a
big, but there's no
demotion.
reason for them to care. Same thing with the Braun Breaker. There's no reason for them to care. But having like in the women's side, obviously you do Charlotte, Alexa, Bailey. Um,
You could throw Gunther in there.
you could throw Gunther in there.
I
Pete
mean, he
Dunne.
was NXT UK.
Um, Chad Gable. Chad Gable's part of the best tag team match that ever took place in or one of the best tag team matches that ever took place. I don't know. The
Dude,
best NXT tag team match that ever took place though was DIY versus AOP versus the Revival. But the Revival also not mentioned. Anybody that's in AEW
well, they
now,
couldn't mention him.
but they own the rights to the footage. They could.
That's true.
Um, they wouldn't. No, I mean, but then I don't know. They probably would put like Mustache Mountain in there or something like that.
If you're gonna, but if you move over to HBK's NXT, I would say that it almost is no comparison. But if you were to
No,
do a women's match,
that would be good.
now we're talking because
Yeah.
Triple H still had, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, Bailey,
Soul Ruka
Becky.
off the top of the cage in a Soul Snatcher.
How would that even? How is that possible? Hold on,
Aren't
with
they
the
just like
action
two
figures in
cells?
my mind, huh?
Aren't they two cells? Right? They have a top, but they don't have a top.
Aren't the war games are like steel cages?
Yeah, they don't have a top.
But how would she do a soul snatcher? Because doesn't she bounce off the rope?
Um, yeah, but she has enough air to do like a crazy flip. It's
Oh, so
possible.
you're saying she stands on top of the cage, flips
Yeah,
into an RKO kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay, very cool. We should
But I
ask
don't know.
Five
I
Star
feel
to
like
do
this
that.
NXT, whatever Rainbow NXT, whatever we're calling it, is not they just can't compare because and part of the beauty that was NXT Black and Gold is that now WWE has this idea where they felt like they made a mistake by taking all of these stars from the independents and trying to make them big in WWE. What they're doing now is taking college athletes and homegrown people and putting them in there, and that's true. What made NXT Black and Gold so excited for me was who's going to show up next. Is it going to be Fergal DeVitt? Is it gonna be Kevin Steen? Is it gonna be El Generico, Shinsuke Nakamura? Um, those people from the independents that that's what excited me about it.
If NXT
Tommy End showing up in there.
if NXT were to exist like Triple H booking it, NXT Black and Gold were to pop up today, do you think it would be competitive with the NXT of today and Raw and SmackDown, AEW and all that? Would it be able to stand out?
I think that it would be. I think it would go back to being more popular than what Raw and SmackDown have going right now. I think NXT would be the must-see show if you were to take those if you were to take independent stars in general, right? Like we're not talking people that are in TNA. We're talking people that yes, they're people from all over the world. Like, somebody like Jeff Cobb would have been amazing in NXT Black and Gold. That would have been such a shock to people to see Jeff Cobb there versus Mateo, JC Mateo, whatever they're calling him. Having these guys like that are on all the guys that are on the independents now. Even you have these like a Brittany Brooks is very well known here on the West Coast. That would be kind of cool. You have I don't know, a whole variety of independent wrestlers.
So then, and I'm just going down the rabbit hole here, dude.
Blue
So
Kane.
if that's the case,
Blue Kane and his whole family.
Stephen Flo.
Yeah, Stephen Flo, Citizen Kane.
Gain.
Yeah, Gain.
If Triple H gets the boot, he could possibly book the best wrestling program of the week.
I think if you ever, I don't know,
he would be left alone.
Have you ever been somewhere? I guess how do I want to put this? Where worked somewhere, and you don't really see it happen in like corporate jobs, but you see it happen more like where if you're working retail or something like that, and a manager ends up leaving, and the whole crew ends up following that person to the next place. I think that is the mistake they will make with WWE. Wherever Triple H goes next, half of the roster will go with him.
I don't know. That's
because they just trust him enough for their booking. I mean, look, guys like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, all those guys are going to be fine. But look at the difference that has been made for guys like, well, Karrion Kross. I think that's a bad example, but guys like Sami Zayn being thrown into that. Sami Zayn's career has made it. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, guys like that have made such a crazy, like if Vince McMahon would have given Adam Cole the opportunity, we would see Adam Cole in the main event of WrestleMania in last year instead of Seth Rollins. Guaranteed.
It's a big statement.
I will stand by it. Adam Cole is, and I know there's a lot to say, but Adam Cole had everything on his shoulders with Triple H in charge. Triple H loved the Undisputed Era, and I feel like the Undisputed Era would have been. I think you would have had the Undisputed Era on one brand and the Bloodline story on the other brand, and the Undisputed Era would still be going strong, much like the Judgment Day is. I think the Judgment Day is being around for as long as they have is a consolation prize to what we could have had with the Undisputed Era.
Damn. Clip that shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Hot take.
Yeah, and honestly, quite frankly, as much as I love those guys, right? Like, the Roderick Strong, even Bobby Fish, despite, the human being that he is, Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, they are I'll say this here. They are still, even though they have prominent spots in AEW, are still widely underused for what the skill that they have, not only in the ring but on the microphone.
Well, they're not.
And
It's underused, but also it's with all due respect, irrelevant. They're the most irrelevant probably now, other than when when one of them's hurt or whatever.
yeah,
Then they probably like when you ask a wrestling fan like who's the most popular on each brand and who do you like the most, I don't think many people are thinking Adam Cole or any of the other three guys.
no.
I think
And
enough time has passed. It's just kind of like it's going to be like one of those what could have beens.
and it's sad too because you have all of these guys that also I feel like would have gotten such like all of these independent guys that would have gotten such a bigger spot in WWE, right? I mean, LA Knight, for example, is a guy that, yes, he had a TNA run, Eli Drake, very, very entertaining, very similar to the character that he has now. But you have these guys that are on, GCW and NWA or just on the independents in general, like JP Warhorse. Um, Marcus Mathers is the GCW guy. We've seen him. We've seen, guys that would have made, I feel like Joey Janela would have been perfect in black and gold.
I love Joey Janela.
Kenzie Page, Natalia and Kenzie Page put on a phenomenal match in NWA that people are never going to be able to see because they just cut it. Colby Carino, you have Brian Idol, you have Natalia Markova. There's this such a wide list of independent wrestlers that would be so good in these places that aren't going to get the opportunity because they're trying to build more homegrown stars, which I get. But I also am a strong person that believes in paying your dues. And the goal is to get to a WWE for those independent guys, not to be a gymnast. And listen, I mean, I'm no athlete, so who am I to say any of this? But to be like a gymnast who, oh, WWE approached me, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll go and do that. And how many of those people have flopped out, or went on
Gable
to do other
Stevenson.
things? Yeah,
They rolled out the red carpet for him the night Cody Rhodes came back, and we
yeah,
never saw him again.
exactly. What's it called? The NXT equivalent of Rosebuds.
But I do hope that because TKO has put so much. I mean, dude, the amount of money that they're making from Saudi Arabia and WrestleMania, it's like $250 million.
Yeah,
How much did did the next biggest WrestleMania make? Five,
that
ten
is
million?
that is one. What is that? That's 1/4 of the amount of money that Fox paid for the whole entire time that WWE was on the Fox network
This is for one event.
for one event.
So, uh,
And I honestly do see WWE becoming a part of Riyadh season in some way.
oh yeah. But what I'm saying is there's going to be so much money that they're going to make doing their homegrown talent thing that even if they did fire Triple H or whatever, they're still going to have enough money to like maintain dominance. It's not like they're just going to fall off the face of the earth the same way the WCW did. So hopefully, if in a couple years the whole WWE TKO thing looks different than it does now, you have more companies popping up like AEW or uh, MLW. NWA is getting big again. Impact having their biggest show. I'm just saying the rising tide raises all the ships, and
Well, think of it this way too, and in management, right? Most of my jobs that I've had have been in management, and I learned very young that the two biggest things that you have in management, and especially when it comes and NXT is no different. This is everywhere. The two things that matter most is having a strong leader and a knowledgeable leader. And there is
mhm.
not a single person in WWE as strong and as knowledgeable in this craft than Triple H. You could say it's The Rock. You're wrong. You could say it's Shawn Michaels. That would be wrong. You could even say it's The Undertaker. That would be wrong. Triple H is the only person that for this long has been on only person in professional wrestling. Yeah, they could bring Chris Jericho in to WWE to run the whole entire thing. Triple H is the only person in the world that has as much experience in not only running the company, but working in the company as one of the people. That's the true story right there. Triple H, Terry Rising, coming up from the independents to run the freaking company, man.
All three of the guys you just mentioned, except for Shawn Michaels, they all have, like Jericho and Undertaker, they are brands at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you put them at the top, someone like that, I'm not saying Jericho and Undertaker.
Well, even The Rock is a brand.
Well, that's true. Okay, so The Rock. The Rock has been so out of it and so out of touch, obviously, with what he thinks the fans want. It's Triple H's brand is WWE. And he's younger than all those guys.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you may not have a good heart.
No, but he's also not a psychopath like Vince, who could, do something to kill him every 2 days or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
But the Rock has, he has the movies. I mean, but that's it. He's the brand. I mean, and he's great in movies. I'll give him that. I mean, next Monday night I got the press screener for the Smashing Machine, so we got to talk about scheduling.
I'm excited
too
for
at some point. Yeah, because I'm gonna go see it 2 weeks before it comes out, but it's only on Monday night. But they're brands. You're right. That's the perfect way to explain it. And there's nobody that even back to NXT and TNA, right? Yes, Shawn Michaels may be playing a huge part in it, but very much like Vince, Triple H is the one running the show when it comes to all of the brands and the wrestling side and the story side and everything like that. Nothing is not going to pass through him. And I personally, out of everybody they have left, he's the only one that could pull off a successful TNA style invasion.
If he can't do it, then
invasion guy. He is the guy that he started. He threw the first punch, really. I mean, yes, did Kevin Nash and Scott Hall go over there? But DX was trying to get into WCW. That was not a work. That was really what they were trying to get into there just to screw around, to invade the company just because it would be fun.
If Triple H can't book, or I don't want to say can't, but is unable to pull off a successful invasion angle, then I don't think it can be done. It has been tried too many times by the smartest people, the smartest bookers, and I've never seen an invasion angle where everyone was like, fuck, that was amazing.
Oh, I got one for you.
Okay.
I got two, actually. I got three. Becky
three
with the
good invasion angles.
3 good invasions. Becky with the broken nose.
No, not that kind of invasion. I mean a program. I mean when ECW with the alliance against WWF.
Oh, okay.
Where it took a little bit of time.
When Triple H, when the whole issue, the first issue with Saudi Arabia came up, and Triple H on the fly decided we're going to include NXT in Survivor Series. I felt like that was honestly, that is my favorite Survivor Series buildup of all time.
Okay.
Just because I remember reading on eWrestling News and Gurek.net, WWE star stuck in Saudi Arabia, Monday Night Raw in question, and then everybody, the whole NXT roster showing up and laying waste to everybody that was left. The bottom of the barrel of the main roster that wasn't invited over to Saudi Arabia to put on a show. They tore them apart in one of the craziest episodes of SmackDown ever. Or Raw, I don't remember which one it was. But I do remember how excited I was to see Adam Cole and all of them show up on the main roster and do that invasion. And I felt like the buildup was very, very good. They made Adam Cole look like a star. Keith Lee is another one of those people that will never get the stars that he deserves, but
Bearcat.
yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good
Watch
one.
NXT this week. I don't
That was
think
a
any
good
of us
one.
are going to be disappointed.
Ooh. All right. Don't forget to follow us at HITFPOD on TikTok and Instagram and hit that subscribe button. I swear to God, just do it. Just do it. It's really cool having 69 followers, but
Wait, actually, you know what? Don't subscribe.
just go back and spam thumbs up all our other
Yeah,
videos,
that's
but
it.
keep us at the
Share
69.
the videos, do whatever. Just come, yeah, keep
Yeah.
coming back. Just keep us in your search history, but let us keep that number.
Yeah. So, all right, we will see you guys later this week. Don't forget, if you're in Southern California, I will be at Trademark blah, 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 blah. Trademark Brewing, I think is the official name of it, in Long Beach for Dream Slam Ceremonial Slam. I will be ring announcing and commentating and handing out stickers to anyone who wants one. All right, Miggy,
Fun shit.
anything else?
Fun stuff, man. This is a good time.
All right, we'll see you later, everyone.